ontogeny.
Alright, it says update successful. Is it finally working now? Atrocious interface. Let's see. Let me know if you can see or hear me. Okay, beautiful. Goodness, let's try this again. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Paleontologizing. It's good to have you here. Glad you could make it. If you're here for the very first time, then an extra special welcome to you. My name is Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. You probably know already that a paleontologist is a scientist who studies fossils. So a dinosaur paleontologist, I work on dinosaur fossils. And that's what I'm doing out here in the eastern Utah desert right now, where it's very hot and very windy. But we're going to have a good stream anyway. Yeah. Working with the Utah Geological Survey crew here, working in the earliest Cretaceous period. The lower Yellow Cat member of the Cedar Mountain Formation. Rock's about 140 million years old. We're digging up some new species. So, glad you could be here to be part of this. Let me know if you've got any questions. That's what this is all about. Let's see here. And Reverend of Twitch, thank you for the 8 months of support. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you kindly. Good stuff. Yeah, excellent. And holy cow, we've already got over 120 people watching? Beautiful. Good stuff. Well, let's go over to the quarry and I'll show you the new bones that we've got coming out right now. So, our crew continues to shrink. Not in terms of body size, but in terms of number of crew members. Right now it's just me, Ethan, Fisher, Don, and Jim. We're down to 5 right now. We've got just a few days left out here at this site before we all go back to civilization. And I've been working over there next to Ethan, so I'll show you some of the new bones that we've got. Yeah. Good stuff. Alright, anything new coming out, Ethan?
Yeah, here's the end of the rig.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Holy cow. So I found this rib probably about an hour ago. Maybe a little bit longer. And it's turned into quite the element there. Very nice.
Yaman.
Yeah, good stuff. And that ungule, holy cow. That is really something. So this is a toe claw of... Looks awful thin for an iguanodont, but I guess it's...
Probably distorted.
Yeah, it looks like it's been smushed a little bit.
Yeah.
But an iguanodont toe claw.
It's in good shape, though.
Very nice. Yeah. Good stuff.
And then mystery bone there, and a nice tooth poking up right there.
Yeah, check out that beautiful iguanodont tooth. Very, very nice. Right here next to this rib. Yeah. And like I said in the going live message, this is the time when we shows up, but just keep finding new exciting bones here. I suppose it's a good problem to have. But yeah. And have you found any skulls yet, says Ziggy Nightmare? Well, that's the thing about dinosaur skulls, is that they tend to disarticulate, they kind of fall apart after death. And so we've got a bunch of different skull bones from this site, but no like big complete skull all together. In the same way that we've got no, skeleton all put together. Things disarticulate after the animal dies, especially in a setting like this. So yeah, good stuff. Excellent. And Steely Dan wants to know how long it takes for a bone to fossilize.
I don't think we know.
Yeah, it's a good question. That's
A bit of a mystery, actually.
It depends. I'm sure it'll depend on different conditions. So, yeah. It'll be at least, I would think, decades, if not centuries. Some people say it takes thousands of years for bones to actually fossilize. But it depends. Yeah. But these bones have been here in the ground for about 140 to 142 million years. So a long, long time. And this is about halfway through the age of dinosaurs. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, good stuff. Check out that claw. So Ethan's applying some glue to it right now.
This is the tip of the claw. Oh, the green stuff's obviously rock here, but... And then this, on the bottom side, as you can see...
Look at that, yeah.
This little... It's kind of shaped like an arrowhead.
Mm-hmm.
These little notches are presumably for little tendons and stuff. And then this is the little... This flat part is actually where this claw articulates or fits together with one of the toe bones. So it's like... The ungule is this last bone in the finger.
Basically the claw bone. So there'd be a sheath of keratin over the top of it in life. But this is the bony core right there.
And here's a groove on the side. Probably for
blood vessels.
And maybe to anchor some growth for the keratin, for the sheath Danny was talking about. Yeah, it's a little smushed, so this is like... The middle is probably right here. And then here's the other groove, so you can tell it's kind of been like squished and distorted this way, so it's flattened like this. It's like sort of been sheared or squished. But it's good shape.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff.
And it fits in the ground, like so.
Right there. So like just about everything here, it's all jumbled up with these other elements, but... That is awesome, Ethan. That's one of the most charismatic pieces we found so far this summer.
Oh yeah, baby.
Good stuff.
Ungule King.
Did you find another ungule earlier?
Last year I found one with a jackhammer during overburden.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first bone we found that season, basically.
Awesome. Yeah. And let's see. And you're correct, Emelith. Bog people would not qualify as fossils. Unless they get fossilized. It depends how early you dig them up, I suppose. And Smorphosaurus, thank you for the gifts up there. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Yeah. Good stuff. And greetings to you too, Nutella Jar. Good to have you. I think I may have missed some questions, so let me scroll up. And Paleontologist VA says, what is the white stuff? Not the plaster, but see some in the rocks? That's gypsum. Yeah. Although there are flecks of plaster floating around over here. But there'll be other stuff like...
This little guy.
Yeah, and Don made a little sauropod head out of that. Yeah. But, very nice. But yeah, this right here is... Unless that is a fleck of... No, this is some plaster, isn't it? But we get gypsum in the rock, too.
These are also scratches with
Yeah.
the pick as well. And then this is actual stuff, but like it looks like a white thing.
Yeah. And then there's some flecks of gypsum in there.
Like 2.5.
Yeah. So just a mineral that kind of forms after the rock has already been laid down. It tends to form in the cracks along surfaces.
Depends how much is in there.
Yeah. And let's see, Miracle Schmirgle. Yeah, people say the rule of thumb for fossils is 10,000 years old or older, but it... Yeah, I don't know if anybody's really ever studied that super in-depth to figure that out.
Sometimes a fossil just means, some definitions, right, is just any evidence of past life.
Yeah.
So maybe the thing is not altered, it's still organic material, and if it's extinct in more than 10,000, you could call it a fossil.
Right.
Or you could say that it's...
A subfossil,
Yeah.
potentially.
If something is all original material, then some people would say it's not a fossil, it's just a corpse.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff from, like La Brea, from the tar pits. Some people consider those fossils, and some paleontologists call them subfossils, because there's still a lot of the original material in there. There's been a certain degree of permineralization, but a lot of the original organic material is still in that stuff. And then if you want to have like a super technical definition, like kind of dumb and pedantic, be like, well, anything that's dug up is a fossil because that's what the word fossil means. The word fossilis is Latin for dug up, so under that definition, a potato would be a fossil. But that's not really a definition that we as paleontologists use.
I look like a potato to you?
Yeah. And Trappy says, the best part of my day is the paleontology. I'm glad to hear that, Trappy. Thanks for saying that. Have you found any skin impressions? Asks Baha Smancer. Not here, I don't think. Have we got any skin impressions from this quarry, Don or Jim?
Yeah, we got some from the Utah Raptor block.
Oh yeah.
And the book cliffs up there, the skyline, definitely have skin impressions. Got dino mummies from up there. But they're late Cretaceous, so they don't count.
I wouldn't imagine the hole that we're in right now, this pit, not the right kind of depositional environment for skin. Yeah.
But I found skin in Morrison Marsh mud holes.
Huh.
Been surprised. My got more quarry.
Yeah.
We got both allosaur skin and sauropod skin in the same site, but just patches. And we've seen that in Firewoods form, not straight cliffs formation. Up in Grand Staircase where we're digging bones of a hadrosaur and chunk of skin in the rock.
Huh.
Yeah,
so I guess it's not impossible that we would find it in here, but
it's not impossible.
Very unlikely.
Yeah, just the preservation of plants suggests to me that that's not very likely.
Huh. And very cool Miracle Schmirgle. Yes. Ordovician fossils, very nice. Cool. And Cactus Jack says, will you jacket the rib this year? I mean, hopefully, yes. We'll do that, like, tomorrow. We'll cap that today?
Yep.
Beautiful. All right. Man, this is getting complicated. Things just kind of turn into pickup sticks. Everything all crisscrossed, but... Yeah. But before we do that, before we actually take it out, we're going to have to map it and log it.
All the data.
Yeah. Yeah. What you got going on over here, Fisher?
Just trenching around,
Yeah.
your bone here, and trying to avoid all this stuff here.
Rare occasion, Fisher's got a dinosaur shirt on today. Still got the sloth socks. Can you give a good look at the sloth socks today? People really liked that yesterday.
Yeah.
Crowd goes wild.
Very nice. Yeah. Excellent. But yeah, this is where I was working yesterday over here.
He's been banished. He's inside.
Yep.
Well, not.
I don't know. The tibia's in good hands over here. And yeah, that stuff over there. So, Don, you think that's just been, it's just kind of smushed up, trampled bone?
Something that's been extremely stepped on, or
It's been dino-turbated.
yeah. You can see like little fragments. So yeah, we're not quite sure. Doesn't look like it's going to turn anything great, but
Yeah.
I mean it'll be interesting just to see that that's splatted.
Uh-huh. Oh, the reviews are in, Fisher. Chat loves your socks.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm spitting considering the brush.
Brush of Xenarthra. Yeah, Don read that. Xenarthrans are the group that includes sloths, and who else, Fisher?
Armadillos and anteaters. So sloths and anteaters form a clade called pilosa, and armadillos and their relatives are cingulata. And together
Nice.
those are Xenarthrans.
And so some of this is new to me, because I remember when aardvarks and pangolins also used to be considered xenarthrans or something close to that.
A clade called edentata.
Yeah, yeah. Turns out those critters aren't actually very closely related to each other at all. Boy.
Always a touch scary.
Yeah. Pretty windy today. It's like being on a sailing ship. Yeah.
Keeps going further. Now you got a little kind of spray, which is
Yeah. Anyway, Jim has got some elements there that he's...
nice little caudal here.
Oh, nice tail
Next to
vertebra.
something, and that seems to be an end. So it's
Yeah.
thinking rib, but I don't know just the way it terminates.
Uh-huh.
Not sure. But terminated here in the ground because matrix up against that squared off end.
That's tricky having it this close to the quarry wall.
Yeah, I know. We're trying to like get it through. Boom, done.
Yeah.
But this one, yeah.
There's something I hit yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Kind of flat and blade lake.
Hopefully,
Could that be pelvic?
Yeah, potentially.
yeah, could be a lot of things at this point, but hopefully it's short.
Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't keep going into the wall or
Yeah.
we're going to have trouble.
Because we're not going to go that much. We might go that far. But
Yeah.
I think it's going to get smaller again.
We could do some overburden first thing in the morning if we need to, when it's nice
Yeah,
and
but if we
cool.
opened up too much, all of a sudden we'll find more bones.
Yeah.
So we're trying to really get things out that we're leaving,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, cross your fingers, chat, that those don't continue.
But yeah, we did get the
Yeah.
big busted up corner thing flipped where Jim's laying used to be bone.
Used to be right under me.
Oh, yeah, nice.
And then we
That's a
got,
caudal there.
Yeah, got a Flip's jacket over there. Excellent.
hopefully we'll get this
What's that to the right of it?
I'm not sure, but it seems to be fairly complete.
bone rod.
It'll come out, we'll be able to separate those. Put a cap on it, pop it out in one piece. But this one is
That looks
more
interesting.
problematic. We'll just have to see what it does. I'll move some more overburden. Taking the commandment, going into the wall. Judiciously.
All right. Where's a good place for me to hunker down and work?
You want to take my spot here?
Sure. Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
So I want to cap this today,
Okay.
just so we can...
So you want me to dig around that a little bit? Just so that we've got it, so it's the highest point in the jacket.
Yeah, that'd be great. So if
Yeah,
you
let's do
could
that.
take out this peninsula right here. So start about here, and then work your way down to the level of this guy. And then that should be enough to,
Excellent.
to cap it. And then maybe take out this peninsula as well, so we can sort of get
Yeah.
a bit of a trench going.
Let's see.
Let me just clean up the mess I made.
Find a good place for the camera. I think that'll work. And let's see here. Oh, hey, Lenina, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. DK79 says we'll cover that up and dig it next year, the stuff over there? Potentially. If there's anything we can't get out over the next couple days, we're going to have to do that. But we're working hard to make sure we get everything that's exposed out this season. Because ideally we won't leave anything behind. But yeah. Go get my water too while I'm at it. Actually a fan of this variety of scoop?
Not ideal.
Those square ones?
Yeah, the like really brittle plastic ones.
Yeah.
Where did this guy come from?
That came from under your knee, but it's not. I don't think we're gonna like mark it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of a random bone shard.
Yeah.
Not scientifically important. There's not much information we can get out of something like that. Yeah. And Sine Nomine, Sine Nomine says, my call is watching. Call. We're supposed to be studying, but are having more fun watching you dig up dinosaur bones. Well, we'll still learn something here, hopefully. Yeah. What are you studying for? Let me know. And Mr. Evil says, what do you do if you find a lot of fossils in a close area and it's impossible to save them all? It's never impossible. You figure it out. Although sometimes if you have a zillion ribs that are all crisscrossed, then you might very carefully extract them piece by piece and record where each of them came from and reassemble them back in the laboratory. That's what we had to do at the Yoshi's Trike site in 2011. Just this giant jumble of ribs. Right now I'm just sweeping off this area here so that when I start digging through this, everything is nice and clean as possible, and if there is any bone underneath, it's easier to spot. Check out this whisk broom right here. Oh man. some of this equipment we've had for a very long time, and it has definitely seen a lot of use. So, compare. Yeah. Oh, you meant class for a bunch of nursing students. Oh, very cool, Sine Nomine. Yeah, well.
It's good to know that the future nurses and doctors will be well educated in dinosaurs.
I mean, you joke, but like, it is super important to actually understand, you know, where the different bones in our bodies originated and how they're similar to other vertebrate animals on Earth. It's all the same stuff. Like, the bones in this dinosaur are the same bones that you have in your body, because we come from a common ancestor. Which I guess for a common ancestor with this dinosaur would be back in the Carboniferous?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So yeah, like 350 million years ago. That's where our line split with these guys. But it's close enough, it's recent enough that we've got the same bones for the most part. There's a few bones that fused up in humans or other mammals that are not fused up in these guys. And these guys have a few extra bones here and there that they evolved that we don't have. But for the most part, our skeletons are, you know, it's all the same stuff. Yeah, there's our skeletal diagram for this kind of dinosaur, an iguanodont. That's iguanodon right there. But yeah, ribs and scapulae and vertebrae, skull bones and limb bones. It's the same stuff that we have, just modified for different purposes. And I've talked about this with medical professionals before, and they're like astounded. It's like, you didn't actually learn this stuff in school? I don't know, because to a paleontologist, it's like that's the idea of common descent, common ancestry. That's foundational to everything. It's kind of crazy that like a lot of medical professionals aren't taught that in school. Wombat Hole, thank you for the gifts up there. Appreciate that. And very nice, Miracle Schmirgle. That is cool. Good luck with that. And we don't have any thumb spikes from this animal yet, to my knowledge. We're not even 100% sure that this kind of iguanodont had a thumb spike. I don't know if we have any thumb spikes from any North American iguanodonts. They probably had them, but we don't know for sure. super scrunched up bone chunk right here. Just kind of came out of the surface.
Fun.
I'll show that to the camera. Yeah, so this is a bit of bone that's probably all waterlogged and bounced around for a long time before it was actually buried in the mud here. Not really something worth collecting because what kind of information you're going to get out of that. This looks like it might be a really scrunched up tooth. That piece is loose right there.
Possible. Yeah, it could be.
Not in great shape though.
You hear with it? Is Andrew going to be able to go to the SCP?
I think so. It treats him pretty good down there.
What's that?
It treats him much better
Yeah.
down there than they used to.
Are you keeping these here for real?
I don't know. Let's check if there's any bone in them, and if not, then
Okay.
my memory for that area has already been erased.
Too much going on. And Dennis Designs, we do camp here overnight. What do we do at night? We sleep. But yeah, we make dinner, hang out.
Grateful Dead.
What's that?
Grateful Dead.
Yeah, listen to Dawn's Grateful Dead hour. Yeah, do dishes and talk about science. Yeah, it's a good time. Honestly, like, one of the best things about digging dinosaurs is just, you know, when you're finished for the day, just you're hanging out in the desert with your friends. It's pretty excellent. Can't pretend it's not. What do you all eat? We eat really well out here, actually. A lot of burgers and brats, a lot of pasta, a lot of rice. Maybe making curry one of these nights. Stuff like that. Stuff that's, you know, not too complicated, but filling and tasty and yeah. You know, dinner's always our one big meal of the day. Might have a little bit of cereal for breakfast, coffee. I always have a protein shake for breakfast. Like sandwiches for lunch. Like peanut butter and jelly, or Jim likes to eat roast beef. But really simple, and then, you know, dinner's our one like hot meal of the day.
Any more fins?
And Rizadega says, are you a marshmallow okay or not okay kind of vegetarian? Definitely marshmallow okay. Yeah. I'm not. I try to be as unobnoxious as possible. Don't want to cause any problems. Pilfering our glue, Don?
It's my glue. You hear that sound?
What's that?
Sound of nothing.
Sounded no way.
Yeah. Ginger Cap says, do you sleep in tents? Most of us do.
Ethan sleeps in the back of the truck,
Yep.
just like at home.
And Ragandar, thank you for the gifts up there. I appreciate that very much. Yeah. Synthberry says, I'm not convinced it's natural for humans to be 100% vegetarian. And it's also not natural for humans to have hip replacements or
Dig up
live
dinosaurs.
past 50 or dig up dinosaurs, you know? That's what it means to be human, is to transgress, you know, what is natural.
It's also the naturalistic fallacy where you think that whatever is natural is necessarily morally good.
Exactly, yeah. Good point.
Which, I mean, this has nothing to do with my opinions on vegetarianism. It's just,
Yeah. We're not jumping down your throat about this, I promise. Who said that? Synthberry? No. You're all good. But yeah.
We came up with that, the first few lines of that Love and Rockets song.
Yeah, well, is it? Who sings that?
Love and Rockets.
That was the band name?
Yeah.
Oh, Love and Rocket. Okay. Yeah, what was it, Don? Could you recite it for us?
Essentially, you can't go against nature, because if you do go against nature, it's part of nature too. It's better in the song.
Yeah. It's a good song.
It's kind of weird. No new tale to tell. No new tale to tell. No new. Those are up on like 1980s wavy type stuff.
And Miss says, if I had to get my own meat, I'd be vegetarian in a second. Yeah, that's part of what put me over the edge. What tipped the scales for me. Anyway, let's see. How many days left do you have on the dig? Asked Ginger Cap. We have got
2 more work days.
Yeah, 2 more work days after today. Holy cow. And then hopefully Thursday morning, on the road. First thing. booked myself a hotel somewhere in Nevada for the night. Decided to splurge, not sleep in the car, but actually get a hotel, get a shower. I am looking forward to that shower. Holy cow, my first one in 24 days it'll be. Or maybe 25? No, 24. It's gonna be nice. Synthberry said, you haven't showered in 24 days? I would die. Well, be glad you have a shower. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll do a tent shower where I get some wet wipes and, you know, make sure I'm all clean before I go to bed, but it's a far cry from, you know, a shower, you know, like a Hollywood shower. And Ruler 2112, that's a great question. Do you ever look back on a dig and say, boy, I wish I would have done that different, or why did I do that?
Yes.
It happens, yeah. Like, if you have a bad flip or something, be like, why didn't I trench around that deeper, or... I don't know, I think most of the things that I look back on and, if you want to use the word regret, it would be like, why didn't I bring this into the field? Why did I forget that item? That kind of thing. And this year's actually been really good for that. I put a lot of care and attention into what I would bring. Yeah. But oftentimes it's just dumb mistakes like that. I forgot to bring this, or I forgot to close the refrigerator door. Now all of our food has been eaten by moose. You know, stuff like that. Not really moose.
A lot of moose out here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what it is. Just heavy rains this year? I don't know what brought them in.
What species were we expecting to find at this site? It doesn't have a name yet. Yeah. We've got a new iguanodont here. And, Ethan, how long do you think this particular, you know, the Ethan's Wash site, how long has this been excavated?
2014.
Since 2014, holy cow.
Yeah. For a while.
So yeah, we've got a lot of bones of this animal, and hopefully sometime soon can give this thing a name and get it published. You know, what'll be the tipping point for that? Like some really good skull material?
We've got some pretty good skull bones now. I think what we need is more overlapping bones with Iguana colossus.
One of the critical bones we don't think we have yet is
squamosal. Yeah.
And that is one of the main diagnostic bones of Iguana colossus.
Huh. Because Iguana colossus has got to be known from less than we have from here, right?
By
A
far.
lot less.
Yeah.
But what defines it, you know, is unique is the squamosal.
Mm-hmm.
The age suggests that it is unique.
Right.
But
in order to demonstrate that this is a unique animal, we got to compare it with with Iguana colossus, which is also from the Cedar Mountain Formation, but probably a little bit higher in section, so a little bit more recent in time than this animal.
This is past that ruler. And figure out where the map sheet. Appropriate.
Here, I can get it for you, Jim.
Just trying to figure out which one of these.
There's all three. Hopefully it's in there.
It's in there. Somewhere. Somewhere.
And Turtle Mommy says, I'm lurking and watching. I love this. Well, you chatted, so you're not lurking anymore. Welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying this. It's good to have you here. And how often do you get to watch science progress from the comfort of your office or bed or wherever people are watching this from?
Surprise.
Drive-in movie theater.
Under something else. Common occurrence.
Video screen at the gas station. Wherever you're watching this from. Bathroom toilet. There you go. Quixotic Odyssey. Welcome back. Yeah. Turtle Mome, he says, I wanted to do this but couldn't afford college. No, I know the feeling. That's the thing, is that you don't necessarily need to have any sort of formal training to be able to do this kind of work. There are lots of museums around the United States and around the world who need volunteers to help with things like field work and lab work and collections work. And you could 100% do this kind of thing even without any formal
Many
education.
have training programs.
What's that?
Both Denver and the University of Utah have training programs.
There we
you
go.
Go through first.
Yeah.
You know, before they'll let you out in the field with them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a formal training program that they
Oh
do.
yeah, because it's
Huh.
you know large. The big problem is the big cities, they have lots of volunteers.
Oh yeah.
Small towns are a little more desperate.
Uh-huh.
But even then, you want people to have a clue what they're doing, why they're doing it. And,
Yeah. That's cool. Shoot, back at Museum of the Rockies, the volunteer fieldwork was the training program.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ruler says, how does one differentiate fossils from different individual animals? Oh, like of the same species? It can get tricky. Yeah. If you're lucky, if you've got two of the same animal preserved in the same spot, they'll be different sizes. But it can definitely get tricky figuring out which bones belong to which individual critter, but oftentimes it doesn't really matter. If they're from the same species, like in our case with this, this new iguanodont here, yeah, I mean, we're trying to diagnose the species rather than like the individual animal, so it doesn't really matter that much. But if you've got maybe multiple species, then it gets much more complicated. If there's multiple kinds of animal in the same spot. And the bones are all jumbled up.
Ontogeny.
Let's see. And Carl Childers, you're right, fossilization isn't, I suppose, all that rare. Well, in the grand scheme of things.
The odds that any one particular individual will be a fossil is rare. But of all the
Extremely
millions
rare,
and billions
yeah.
of animals that do live, it happens relatively frequently.
That's the thing, in like the vastness of geologic time, even uncommon things become commonplace because it's just large numbers, You had billions upon billions upon billions of dinosaurs that walked the earth. Even if only the tiniest, most minuscule fraction ever got buried and preserved as fossils, still you're dealing with billions upon billions at the beginning, so you're going to have a lot of them at the end. But then even after you are fossilized, like the odds of having the rocks around your fossils exposed to the surface so that they can be discovered by somebody and then excavated and studied by paleontologists, that's extremely slim odds.
That one's pretty good. Half maybe.
Naderfiend, thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Yeah. And Corpse Smoothie, sometimes there are mix-ups like that, yeah. I think how common that is depends on who you ask. So, some people who work on dinosaurs suspect that a lot of the ones that have been named are just, they might not be very different from ones that have already been named. In some cases, like you'll get juveniles that are sometimes described as new species or stuff like that. Pathological individuals, like one with a disease or something like that, like Netoceratops would be a good example of that. It's a triceratops with some weird stuff going on with its frill. Seems to be pathological, like injuries or disease. Makes it look different from other Triceratops. So it's not actually a new species, but yeah. These are the sorts of things that dinosaur paleontologists argue about all the time. When you're dealing with very limited information, you can come to different conclusions pretty easily sometimes. Yeah. And Synthberry says, what do you think of them trying to bring back mammoths and other Pleistocene animals? I think it's a cool idea. I don't think it's going to happen, but shoot, best of luck, you know? Thing is, if they are successful, they're going to make so many cool discoveries along the way that would have all kinds of unexpected benefits. Yeah. I generally have a pretty rosy view of these things.
There should be a movie about that.
It would be cool to have like a Jurassic Park style movie with like recreated dinosaurs, but just everything goes really well. It's like a romantic comedy or something like that. Because they are, at the end of the day, just animals. They're not monsters. Got a raid or something? New people coming in? 320 raiders, holy cow. From Trash Future Podcast. What's shaking? How was your stream? Welcome to Paleontologizing and welcome to Eastern Utah. Yeah. Let me pick the camera up and show you around. Yeah, Murph, thank you so much for those gift subs. That is brilliant. Yeah. Well. Let's see. Let me step out for a second. But it's great to have you here, everybody. Like I said, welcome to the beautiful desert of eastern Utah. Here, kind of near the town of Moab. And welcome to Paleontologizing. My name's Danny Anduza. I'm a dinosaur paleontologist. I'm here on Twitch trying to do some good old-fashioned science outreach. Normally I stream from my office back in the San Francisco Bay Area. Talking about new fossil discoveries, talking about new publications, and answering questions and stuff. But of course, it's summertime, so I'm out here doing field work, digging with the Utah Geological Survey. So we've got the two state paleontologists for the state of Utah. There's Don there with the wheelbarrow. Yeah. There's Jim down there in the suspenders. And then there's Fisher and Ethan on the crew too. And we're digging up some probably new iguanodonts, new kind of beaky plant-eating dinosaur from the very bottom of the Cretaceous, the lower yellowcat member of the Cedar Mountain Formation, about 140, maybe even 142 million years old. The very dawn of the Cretaceous. About halfway through the age of dinosaurs.
I think it's really enough.
And Devin on Earth, thank you for the Prime sub, I appreciate that. Yeah. And it is hot out here, definitely. Holy cow, it's got to be in the 90s today. Somebody can bring up the weather command. But yeah, anyway, let me know if you've got any questions. I think it's really important to, as a scientist, to show the world what we actually do. It's one thing to, to kind of tell people about it, but showing is so much cooler. And having a stream like this, it's interactive. I've wanted to do this kind of outreach for a long, long time. And now, thanks to the wonders of modern technology, solar panels, solar battery, satellite dish, can broadcast to you from way out in the middle of nowhere. So yeah. And Kinyu92, thank you for the prime. I really appreciate that. Excellent. Yeah. Good stuff. And do they have iguanodon fossils in the UK? That's where iguanodon is originally from. Yeah. Yeah. It's only the second dinosaur that was ever named, way back in 1825. And now, almost 200 years later, we're digging up new members of that same family, the Iguanodontidae. Or Iguanodontia, at least. Yeah. Here, I might want to fix that hole on the tarp before it comes undone. Here. That's better. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. And oh, and cracked squirrels. I've got a special command. Somebody type in !sun helmet for that. Yeah. So this is my favorite hat for when it's really hot outside. Keeps me nice and cool. And JP Doozy, thank you for those gift subs. That is brilliant. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. How you doing, Jeff? It's good to have you here. So yeah. Here, we've got a bunch of raiders. Can I do a quick walk through the quarry again?
Sure.
Got that nice tibia right there. Yeah.
And it's got a rib or something crossing right over it.
Uh-huh.
You can see how it's been distorted. Probably some plastic deformation as it was in the swamp and just kind of slowly bent around the tibia.
Nice.
And then the end looks a little weathered, maybe.
That's
on that
the end of the
side.
tib. Shoot.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's something interesting. I mean, once we get underneath, there may be a little more to it, but it does seem like it's one of the distorted ones.
Yeah. I found this bone probably about close to a week ago at this point.
Probably.
And yeah, it's doing some excellent trenching around
And
that.
another thing here looking like it's been maybe stepped on or rotted, or
Yeah.
you see broken fragments going into the mud there. So it got broken in place, obviously, to have them well preserved right there.
Right. Probably stepped on by another dinosaur
And then
140 million years ago.
another tibia over here that we probably first started to uncover, God, almost at the very beginning of the beginning of the expedition. So that's under this guy.
Nice.
There's a little vertebra under here, which is going to make it a little tricky, and then I got a really nice little toe bone right here.
Yeah, that is really nice. Beautiful little phalanx.
The distal in there. And then a couple of blobs over there. Jim.
It was a beautiful little paddle vertebra right there.
Put a jacket on there real quick. Yeah, this wind.
Femur earlier today.
Beautiful.
Pretty where Jim's laying.
Yeah.
Another one that's been there for, well, heck, Marisa first uncovered the neural arch that was sitting on the vertebra, and she was here in like the third
Yeah, shoot.
third and fourth day.
That was, feels like a month ago at this point. Yeah.
And I was like, who?
We're on day 21, if anybody's wondering. Been out here for 3 weeks now.
But I think we're planning our exit strategy, and we're doing pretty well. I think we can try to get this guy flipped later today, hopefully. And then I was just going to do a little gypsona jacket on this just to protect the top surface here as we trench around.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we're definitely, I think it won't be a big problem to get that out tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, so you're getting ready for a gypsona on that right now?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, well, let's take a good look at it.
I've got it all.
Last chance.
Yeah, I've got it all cleaned
Until
up.
it's done in the laboratory. Yeah. And I love tibiae. It's
This
like
is
one
like
of my
a
favorite
chunk
dinosaur
of. I
bones.
think that's just a chunk of plant on there, but
Okay.
I'll leave it on there because it's still some of it's adhering to the bone.
Don't want to take any bone off with it.
And then there's a couple little fragments of the rib that popped off, but instead of worrying about putting them all back on right now,
Yeah.
I'm just going to tuck it in here for
Nice.
rib over tibia frags.
Cool. Thanks for taking the time, Don.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to show all the new people what we've got going here. But yeah, And how long do I tend to stream? Usually about 2 hours when we're out here. So we'll go to about 5, but maybe it'll be longer today because we're really trying to get this stuff out before we have to leave the next couple days. Snowman, let's see. Snow Madman says, how long does the average paleontological dig take? It depends. I don't know if there is an average one.
This could go on for 100 years straight.
Yeah.
And it still will not be finished.
There's so many fossils here. This is such an extraordinary place.
The whole valley floor is basically a site.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
Many, many acres.
This is gonna be one of the biggest, you know, dinosaur sites in the world. It's gotta be. I mean...
I don't know, we got several.
Yeah. Man, I wish we had 1,000 times as many volunteers out here. We could do some really, really cool stuff. Because
It has the oldest Cretaceous site.
yeah.
You know, it's probably going to yield a lot of important information over the decades.
And we're out here for just over 3 weeks. We were here for about the same length of time last year too. Yeah, but we
used to stay a little longer out in the field. Though.
yeah.
Kind of depends. If someone's doing an international expedition, often they'll go for 6 to 8 weeks sometimes because if they're flying everybody somewhere expensive to go, and a lot of it just depends on money and logistics. And
You got to get the visas and everything too. Then
other places, people can just drive from their town and go dig for the afternoon and come back home at the end of the day.
yeah. So it's hard to say like what an average paleontological dig would be because they all vary so much. But our average here is about 3 weeks at this site, year after year. Yeah.
There was a bunch of years where we'd start in late July and go into September.
Yeah.
Three month seasons. That was a norm when we were younger, and there was more oil money available toward the survey.
Yeah.
Let's do things like this.
Well, shoot, I'm going to be spending hopefully close to 3 months in the field this year. This would be like the middle of field work for me. Yeah, because we're going to be going out to Lori's site. Hopefully I can go to. And that's going to be pretty cool, digging up some ankylosaurs. Do you want to talk for a minute about that, Jim? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, Lori's site is higher than this, but it's got a similar fauna.
Yeah.
You can think of this as the beginning of what I always like to call the Wealden fauna.
Yeah.
The name for the Wealden in England.
In the UK, yeah.
And basically iguanodonts, coelacanthine, ankylosaurs, which are very spiny ankylosaurs.
Yeah, it's a big armored dinosaur with, you know, big spikes on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have turriosaurs in this thing. And basically the sauropods all have pretty broad teeth. Yeah, really distinctive. And apparently through several levels we have large dromaeosaurs.
Yeah.
You know, Utah raptor size or getting that size. And this site, Lori's site's the youngest site of that type we have.
Nice.
It's all different species. We think of it as the third main level up. It's actually in a different member of the Cedar Mountain.
Gotcha.
It's in the Poison Strip, which rims this whole valley
I
around
didn't
here.
realize that was this poison strip. Shoot.
Yeah, that is
Cool,
the Poison Strip over there.
Oh, we were on top of that when we were walking over it.
Yeah, and then there was more above us. It was still Poison Strip.
Yeah.
And the age isn't well defined, but it's probably the biggest accumulation of ankylosaurs of any site on the planet.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's like this. It covers many, many acres, and it's like 95+% ankylosaurs.
Ankylosaur. Nice.
Yeah, so it's...
And that's Jim's favorite. Jim is very fond of ankylosaurs.
It's definitely started my career on a good step, you know. Finding the first North American one.
Yeah, so that's where we're going to be probably around mid-September, something like that. And hopefully I can stream from there too, but no promises. We'll have to see.
I would expect you could stream, the early part of it at least.
Cool, yeah.
And probably toward the end too.
Yeah, awesome. Well, neat, yeah. The wind's died down just a little bit. That's really nice. Yeah, let's get back to digging.
Yeah, there's plenty of gypsona. I got this.
All right, for all the new folks. Ooh.
This is definitely gonna have to go in with a rib, but
Oh boy, yeah. That's kind of scary
so
looking.
we got like a little horn thing right there. Another little horn thing right there. These aren't actual horns, but I just mean little bumps.
Yeah.
Bump, smooth surface bump, and then it tapers. It's got a waist right here, and then it's got this another little bump right there, and then it's diving and plunging right there. So it's not going to be possible to take it out separate from the ribs.
That does look cranial.
So I think we're probably, and it's the exact same color, and it's just as thin as the. And we're less than 4 feet away from where the other one came from. So
Sure.
it might be a theropod. We'll see.
Awesome.
It'll probably have to come with us in the rib jacket.
All right.
It's a little pretty scary.
I mean, I guess we're lucky that it's close enough that we can do that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It does complicate the jacket. That's not the greatest. Yeah. For anybody wondering, a theropod is a two-legged, usually meat-eating dinosaur. So birds evolved from theropod dinosaurs. It's the same group that includes some of your favorites like T-Rex and Velociraptor and Coelophysis and Allosaurus. They're all theropods. Utah raptor also, obviously, a theropod. While we're talking about Cedar Mountain dinosaurs. And Elliot says, do the bones get damaged from being dug out? Is that an issue? I mean, if you do it right, they don't. It's like Ethan's working on this. This is extremely fragile, complicated stuff.
I'm definitely gonna break it if I keep touching it.
Yeah. And the thinner and more delicate the bone, the easier it is to break, especially if the preservation isn't the greatest. So, yeah, it's a huge part of the job. It's just being slow, patient, and careful, and, being intelligent about how you do things. So, yeah. So Ethan's had a ton of experience with that, and, it's been doing that for many years at this point.
Are we out in general?
But yeah. And does watering them down help them loosen? It can help with the rock, but we use glue on the bones themselves. We use like PVA glue, polyvinyl acetate glue, kind of what we call a penetrant stabilizer. So like this kind of glue in here. So you just put this onto the bone. It's basically like a plastic compound that's dissolved in acetone. Acetone is like nail polish remover. And so you put that onto the bone and it absorbs down into it, and the acetone evaporates off and leaves the plastic inside. It can kind of strengthen the bone from within. Yeah. What's the threshold for a specimen to be a new species? It's got to be different enough. Villainy 99. And yeah, different paleontologists disagree on what makes a specimen different enough to be a new species. That's one of the things we argue about the most, honestly, is, are things actually different enough to be new species? That's often a source of dispute. Yeah. And how bad of an idea is it to inhale acetone gas? I mean, don't do it 24/7, Coolwell. That wouldn't be a good idea.
It rocks. Don't do it.
Yeah. And no gloves? No gloves in the quarry. That's one of the commandments here. No gloves in the quarry. Don could tell you all about that. But you need all the dicks. What's that?
Shoveling.
Oh yeah, shoveling, using picks, doing overburden, use gloves, otherwise you get bad blisters. I got a bad blister on my thumb from not wearing gloves.
Men wear gloves when they plaster.
There you go. But not while you're digging. Yeah, can you explain to the camera maybe why we don't use gloves when we're here in the quarry digging?
You really need real touch. And very often gloves on seams. I've seen people brushing the bone. Have a seam grab the bone and just rip it to shreds. I mean, it's just, I feel like we're safe crackers.
Safe crackers, I like that. Yeah. But yeah, it really takes. Yeah, you gotta have that tactile sense, and you lose a lot of that when you wear gloves. So your hands can get a little rough out here, but just put some lotion on when you get back to camp, It doesn't have to mean that you'll have super calloused hands. honestly, you don't really want that because then you lose some of that touch. Cruise through this. And Kennedy, oh yeah, you're talking about ring species there. Yeah. Ring species are a weird thing. Now, we'll talk about that when I'm back in my office sometime later. We're not going to get into that right now. Oh, but since we got a bunch of new people, where's my iguanodons? Yeah. This is similar to the kind of animal that we're digging up right now. So this is Iguanodon bernisartensis from Europe. Our animal's a little bit smaller than this when full grown, probably. But, yeah, and about 20 million years earlier, so our animal is more primitive than this animal, if you want to use that kind of terminology. More basal. Earlier on the family tree. Yeah, so far from just this summer, we've got a femur, we've got probably a couple of tibiae, shin bones. Ethan found a toe, one of the unguals, one of the toe claws right there. That's right there. Beautiful, right there in the middle. Yeah, and then we've got a bunch of ribs. We don't have too many vertebrae at this point, which is kind of strange. There's a few.
A few. We probably got 3 or 4 over here.
3 or 4 verts?
Yeah.
Nice. Which, again, when you look at how many vertebrae are in the animal, that's not that many compared to what's here. But, yeah. Anyway, the vertebrae aren't necessarily the most diagnostic part of the animal, so it's not like...
Oh, it depends.
Well, for sauropods, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, dinosaurs are really useful.
Yeah?
Now, vertebrate, you know, don't sneeze at vertebrate.
I mean,
ribs, for that matter.
I don't hear people talk about ornithopod vertebrae all that often, but...
A lot of different types of sails. And
oh, yeah, shoot, yeah.
You know, attaching the head. Look at Parasaurolophus.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they're doing different things. There's not many people work on it.
Good point, okay. I stand corrected.
Everybody works on it.
Don't be hating on vertebrae. Would these guys have had feathers or fur? Asked Elliot. Okay, these guys would probably have, you know, kind of scaly skin.
Oh yeah.
We've got a lot of preserved skin of hadrosaurs, duck-billed dinosaurs from later on in the Cretaceous period. Those are related to these guys. Probably evolved from iguanodonts. Yes, we know the descendants had scaly skin. So yeah, this would be like a different branch of the dinosaur family tree from the ones who had feathers. I can show you. Here. This is a like really simplified family tree of what we call amniotes. These are land-living vertebrate animals. Dinosaurs start right here. So everything that comes up off of this node is a dinosaur. And so iguanodonts are part of Sauropoda right there. That's marginocephalians and ornithopods. There's a duck-billed dinosaur. These guys had scaly skin. The dinosaurs we know for sure had feathers. A lot of them are over here in Theropoda. These are the two-legged meat-eating dinosaurs. There's birds. Birds are a kind of theropod, which makes them a kind of dinosaur. But we also have some evidence of feathers in some basal ornithischians, like Culindrodromeus.
Are they feathered, or are they fancy scales?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's the difference?
Well, yeah, well, feathers are feathers. Look at the way a feather grows out of a follicle.
Uh-huh.
It's totally unique. I mean, there are really, you know, things of pseudo feathers, but a real feather comes out of a tube in the skin and then unrolls.
Mm-hmm. So would you consider what Sinosauropteryx has to be
proto-feathers.
Proto-feathers.
As you can see.
So where do you draw the line, though?
Into real feathers
Yeah.
evolutionarily. But the other ones I think are convergent.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with that.
So you think the true, like, main line to feathers is a theropod tapomorphy, then?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I think it starts basically with the base of the Sclerotoria.
Interesting. So you wouldn't expect to find any feathered ceratosaurs or anything like that?
The evidence is no.
Yeah.
I mean, Carnotaurus has skin over most of its body.
Right.
Sadly, they prepped it off its face. Skin on its face. But its neck to down the tail, all big scale. Its closest relative in North America is Ceratosaurus.
Oh, Cool asks an excellent question. If birds are dinosaurs and dinosaurs are reptiles, does that make birds reptiles? Yes. 100% yes. Yeah. Birds are a kind of reptile. In the same way that, you know, like we keep talking about, bats are a kind of mammal, or humans are a kind of mammal, or whales are a kind of mammal. You know. You belong to the same group as your ancestors. That's how evolution works. That's how we classify living things. And we had fins years and years ago. It's true, Ice Alan, yeah. I mean, all vertebrate animals, all animals with vertebrae and bones, are fish, if you think about it. Because the ancestors of land-living vertebrate animals came from the sea. They evolved from fishes, so they're part of that group. You know, don't just ask my word for it either, you know, ask any paleontologist or evolutionary biologist. Hopefully most modern biologists have also learned this by now. But, yeah. Animals with bones are... they're fishes. Yeah. So like reptiles and mammals and amphibians are all part of what we call Sarcopterygia. They're evolved from lobe-finned fishes. Let's see, how close do you want me to get to the end of this rib over here when I'm cutting in? Because I noticed you're pretty close over there, but... Like here?
I think, yeah, probably. That's a good edge. I'd say so.
Okay.
Be mindful, though, because this stuff could be anywhere.
Yeah, okay. When I'm near the surface, I'll keep a real close look out.
So far, the separation has been good.
That's a relief.
Good enough. I mean, it's... yeah. Still spooky, but...
Can I scoot your pillow out of the way a little bit, too?
What do you do? Just like that.
Cool. Makes it a little easier. And let's see. And hey, Moohoodles, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. And Crack Squirrels, you get some good sleep. I hope to see you next time. Yeah. And Bokun, yeah, it's a really, really slim percentage of any, you know, creatures that actually become fossils. When you're talking about individual organisms, the chance for any one individual to become fossilized is very, very slim. But given enough time, even very uncommon events happen pretty often. Or if not often, they happen a lot. They accumulate over time. Looks like a could be ossified tendon right here.
That is something right there.
This here?
Yeah, that's like there's a little bit of bone in there, and there's the skin of something that used to be there.
Shoot. Let's see.
Get that nicely there.
And we got a piece here.
Nice.
Piece here.
Nice. Kind of looks like a nugget.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Ooh, this looks alright. Yeah, it's probably nothing, but gotta keep an eye out. There's no shrimp.
Yeah, sure.
Nice.
Sure. Let me find you the mallet. There it is. That's what threw me off there, is that stupid pebble next to it. Oh, it's all pebbles here.
should be good. I mean, it's probably nothing. But, no, can't be too careful though. You'll find out.
Ah, damn.
Let's see.
Sorry. My throat just dried so much I couldn't swallow.
Ugh.
Ah,
Oh, check out this bone pebble.
so bizarre.
It's kind of decent for a pebble. For
Yeah.
a fragment.
Cool looking.
Plunging.
Oh.
Oh no. Come on, man. We don't need this. I didn't
Is
ask
this-
for this. I think it's a plant. Did not ask for...
That almost looks like bone on the surface.
Yeah, I think it is on the outside.
Yeah.
On the edge. Check this out.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So delicate.
Are you messing up my theropod?
How dare you? There's no one better in the world. Let's see. Oh, that's a legitimate bone. Dang it. That's the bummer.
Hmm.
It may be a legitimate bone. It's just more than a regular.
Show everybody. Yeah. Right there.
Yuck.
Hmm. Plunging down too. What a wacky sight.
This thing is mostly plant. Strange.
Yeah. At this point in the season, we would like to maybe stop finding so many bones and just be able to extract the ones that we have, but
There's so many bones.
I guess it's a good problem to have.
Well, it gets scary when you get a lot of really important bones near each other.
Yeah.
Because then you kind of gotta keep track of where everything is. And
I feel
treat
dumb
everything-
complaining about finding more bones, but it's like, it just complicates things.
Woohoo! Theropod's safe with us.
Yep.
I hope.
Oh, do we know? Oh, we got a question about reconstructing dinosaurs. Do we know what the fat and muscle distribution would have been like, so we can accurately say what dinosaurs would have looked like, or is it mostly guesswork? There's a certain degree of guesswork, but the thing is, in science, you try and find ways of testing any ideas that you have. That's what makes it science, and not just speculation, you know?
Was there junk in that trunk?
Yeah, how thick was this boy? Yeah, you could do things like look at muscle scars on bones to try and estimate the, you know, well, at least see where different muscles would have attached. And then by looking at the size of the scarring on the bone from the muscles, you can get a good sense for how big those muscles would have been. But we also do a lot of like looking at modern analogs for dinosaurs. You look at birds and you look at crocodilians, the closest living relatives of dinosaurs, for clues about certain things. Like, we have good reason to believe that dinosaurs wouldn't have been much like mammals in, you know, the way that they're... The silhouette of a given mammal might not adhere to its skeleton all that much, but we know that for birds and for crocodilians, the silhouette of the flesh of the animal, at least, hews pretty closely to the skeleton. And so we have reason to think it would have been the same for a lot of dinosaurs. And sometimes we actually have mummified dinosaurs, like that happens with duck-billed dinosaurs with some degree of frequency, where you actually have preserved skin and like muscle tissue and stuff like that.
Still all rock.
Yeah, it's not a mummy in the sense that like an Egyptian mummy is a mummy, but in the sense that like the skin and the muscle actually fossilize. so you can get a good sense for what the exterior of the animal would have looked like. And those could be a wealth of information. So there's not as much speculation as you might imagine. This is science, after all. Yeah. And yep, hummingbirds are dinosaurs, the smallest dinosaurs to ever live. You are correct. And what did dinosaurs eat? Well, different dinosaurs ate all different kinds of things. Like Johnny Cash once sang, some ate plants and some ate meat, some ate fish, some ate beets. Not really beets, but beets are a modern plant.
He was ahead of his time.
Oh, about iguanodonts. I don't know if we have super good evidence of what kinds of plants exactly iguanodonts were eating. Again, iguanodontia is kind of a big group. There's a lot of different species. I'm sure their diets would have varied a bit, species to species, and also region to region, time period to time period. Maybe also varied like ontogenetically, so for certain species, maybe the young are eating different things than the adults are eating. It depends. It kind of depends if they lived in like multi-age group herds, or like, you know, herds with young and old individuals all in the same herd. Because that would imply they're kind of moving together, all eating the same stuff. But the kinds of plants that were around at this time were things like, we've got bits of tree fern, or a tree fern-like plant called Tempskia, right here in the quarry. Or at least it's a close relative of Tempskia. Big weird tree fern type plant. So ferns, cycads, horsetails, ginkgos, conifers would have been one of the dominant plants during the age of the dinosaurs. Like all throughout the Mesozoic. And have we found any nests? Not at this site, David, but there are lots and lots of different dinosaur nests from around the world. Some from right here in Utah. And those can vary in clutch size from like a dozen eggs up to 30 or 40 in some nests for different kinds of dinosaurs. Some of those may have been communal nests where like a bunch of different mother dinosaurs are all laying their eggs in the same nest. Kind of like, I think ostriches will do the same thing. Like one male ostrich will build a nest and a bunch of different females will come and breed with him and lay their eggs in his nest, and then he'll take care of the young. That may have originally evolved in Mesozoic dinosaurs, long before the first ostriches. Avatar says, how scary is it hammering in like this? When you've got really delicate bone like that over there, it can be a little bit nerve-wracking. But that's why we work slow and steady. And, try and be as gentle as possible. That's the reason we're not using jackhammers right now. How do we know where to break ground? You guess it's a great question. We find fossil bone on the surface and we dig in. It's not like we just dig a random pit somewhere. We gotta find the clue on the surface that tells you, oh, maybe I should dig in here and see if it continues. Elliot OK says, I feel like this is going to become the regular Trash Future raid every week because this is fun. I hope it will be. It's great having you guys here. Yeah. Let's see, is prospecting a specialty or does everyone do it? I mean, it's something that, you know, more or less everybody does. We didn't do a ton of prospecting this summer because we've got so much stuff to dig here. But often the most experienced and sharp-eyed people will find the most things, but really just about anybody can find a dinosaur. A big part of it is luck, I suppose. But skill also counts for a huge amount too.
Taphofacies.
What's that?
You know the rocks, you can read where the fossils are.
That's true, that's true.
And increase your efficiency many hundreds of times.
Well,
just random.
I'm trying to make the point though that, like, you know, normal people will find fossils, people have zero training and that sort of thing. Hikers and hunters and dog walkers and birders.
People can find stuff, no doubt.
Yeah, but if you're out like prospecting, looking for something in particular, man, does it help to know what you're doing?
Taphofacies. You want to find things like mammals, that's what you gotta do. Can't read the rocks. Randomly walking.
Yeah. And Renfield says, how deep would you need to dig through to the next era of dinosaurs?
Pretty deep. Like what, Jim? How many meters above the Morrison are we right now?
Well, she's on next era. The next era.
Next era would be the Paleozoic.
Well, we know what he means.
Yeah.
Or they mean
Morrison gets a few
next
meters.
period.
So yeah, here we're just at the very, very bottom of the Cretaceous period here. So if you want to get down into the Jurassic period, which is like a major transition in in the age of dinosaurs, that's just a few meters down from here.
Down to the Paleozoic.
Here, I got a chart I can show you. Let me show you rather than just telling. So, dinosaurs of Utah. We're here at the very bottom of what we call the Cretaceous period. There's 3 periods in the age of dinosaurs: Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. We're here at the very bottom of the Cedar Mountain Formation. In fact, the green should really be moved down a little bit further. Jim was talking about that. Because this goes deeper than we thought it did, like deeper in time. So in order to get into the Jurassic, that's only a few meters below this. The Morrison Formation is what underlies the Cedar Mountain Formation, which we're digging in right now. So yeah, these rocks are about 140, maybe 142 million years old, Jim reckons. Hope that makes sense. Yeah. And 56 raiders from the Gruesome Tom. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to Paleontologizing. We're here digging up some dinosaurs. You're welcome to ask whatever questions you've got. Good to have you here. How was your stream? Car says, can you use carbon dating method on rocks? These rocks are way too old for that. For like carbon-14 dating. That's got a half-life of 50,000 years or something like that. These rocks are 140-something million years old, so you can use other dating methods like uranium-lead dating. But yeah, you can use radioisotope dating on stuff like this, and that's exactly what we do. Yeah. Oh, and very cool, Joe 3E. That's what Mr. Tom was doing. IRL streaming from the Arctic part of Norway. Very cool. Presumably a lot cooler than it is here. It's pretty hot today. Well, welcome, everybody. Appreciate the raid. Space now. Good stretch out. Still waiting on the radiation numbers, says Wombat. Oh shoot, I should bring that out tomorrow. I totally forgot. Take the Geiger counter out. Let's see what kind of radiation readings we get on these bones. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty low to nothing. But I guess we'll have to see. .5°F. Wow, Joe 3E, holy cow. That's significantly less warm than it is here. Elliot says, how can you tell the difference between small fossils and the skeletons of small animals? I mean, if they are small fossils, they are the remains of small animals, usually. But you're asking, how do we tell fossil bone from modern bone? You know, bone of creatures that are around today? Well, the fossil bones are fossilized. We do find, occasionally, the bones of, you know, other critters on the surface up here. You know, mice or rabbits, stuff like that. Shoot, I found a bunch of rabbit bones and stuff like that earlier in the summer when I was working in Wyoming. And those are, you know, they're bleached white in the sun. They're much, much lighter than a fossil bone. It's just, it feels and looks and acts completely different. Yeah, with some experience, you know the difference like that.
You got something under here?
Yeah. And lots of things aside from the iguanodon. Yeah, Mirgal. Got some potential theropod bones right over there from a meat-eating dinosaur. Bits of plant, like this right here, kind of scrunged up plant material. Probably more of our Tempskia, which is a tree fern-like plant. Lots of stuff like that, yeah. But no invertebrates so far. Yeah. And is it easy to see the difference between plant fossils and animal fossils? Well, yeah, usually. Sometimes in a quarry like this, it can get a little confusing. Because if the bones are really scrungy, they can look like scrungy plant material. But, you know, bone is bone. And it looks bony.
Oh, you got separated from here.
There are underwater dig sites for fossils, Mopar. Yeah, shoot. Jim was telling us a story of when he was digging up a mammoth that was, what, 30 feet underwater, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah, over in, what, South Florida?
Now Central Florida.
Central Florida.
Yeah, Silver Springs, Florida.
Uh-huh.
Owned by ABC.
Oh, cool. Huh.
Yeah, Wide Wilderness Sports, Lexington.
Yeah, so, and you were a diver before that, right?
What?
You had diving experience before that?
No, not tank. I just do a lot of snorkeling and stuff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, we had a good, guy running the show, Navy diver.
Uh-huh.
He's also an archaeologist.
Very cool. An archaeologist running a paleontological dig. That.
Well, it was a Clovis man dig.
Oh yeah, shoot. There's.
Clovis was a kill and butcher site.
Very cool.
The sea levels were lower.
Huh. Man, Florida must have been so much bigger back then. So much more land area. And sea levels were lower. I'm glad that didn't completely chunder the bone where it went in.
I'm gonna do a bit of mapping here, so
cool.
we can
get that kept.
Removal.
Yeah. Begin the extraction. Yeah, and Araya. No, I do think it's super likely that there's a lot of organic material still in a lot of fossils, especially like from the latest Cretaceous, like Hell Creek. Stuff is so recent compared to something like this.
It's only 66 million.
Yeah.
Brand spanking.
So yeah.
Ontogeny.
Tactile 3D picture says someone named Sheldon Cooper says geology is not a science. I don't know who the heck that is, so I'm gonna go ahead and disregard that.
Even if I did know who that was.
I've never read any of their publications.
What is your professional opinion, sir? My opinion, as the creator of Dilbert, is that geology is nonsense. Even though it is the foundation upon which almost all of the world's energy is extracted from the Earth. Geology is not... Think about that next time you're putting gas in your car.
Yeah.
We don't know anything about the Earth or where to find stuff. It's a total crapshoot. When there's billions of dollars at stake to potentially find stuff, people do lots of science on it. Not on dinosaurs, but for energy and stuff.
Shoot, I wish we had that kind of funny.
Billions.
I'll tell you, this side looks pretty shaky.
Oh, and Sheldon Cooper is a fictional character from a television show.
Oh, in that case, we were right to disregard it. Some guy on TV.
Saw them on the boob tube. The old Picto Cube. The jumping box. Let's see. Oh, apparently it's something from something called The Big Bang Theory, which apparently is a sitcom and not a PBS Nova special or something. It's disappointing. Yeah. No, I'm
It's like the most overrated show in human history.
obliquely aware of the show and I kind of detest it.
It's pretty funny because they always make fun of geology.
Really?
Oh yeah, they'll be like, oh, Sheldon will find like a geology book, and he's like, "What's this geology book?" It's like, I forget what it's. Have you been having a children's party?
What, are they physicists or something? Goodness. Physics. The simplest possible science there could be. Dealing with the very basic building blocks of the universe.
And it has no applications.
None. I know, it's just all theory, you know?
Oh, wait a minute. Oops.
Now, do you know the joke about the what's that? Oh, the physicist and the racehorses and stuff?
No.
You don't?
You might have told me, and I may have forgotten.
It's kind of a long joke, but I'll make it short. There's a billionaire guy. He wants to retire, and he doesn't have any hobbies or interests. And he's like, "What's my interest or hobby going to be when I'm retired? What will I spend my billions of dollars on? I want to be the best in the world at it." And somehow he picks horse racing. And he's like, "I'm a Silicon Valley guy, and I'm gonna use science to be the best in the world at this. And, no one will be better than me." He's like, he talks to his secretary, and he's like, "Bring me 3 scientists, and they'll tell me how to pick the best racehorses." The secretary's like, "Okay, I guess." So the next day, in his office are an anatomist, a geneticist, and a physicist. And he's talking to them, and he's like, "You science people, you're going to make me the best racehorse owner in the world. Find me the best horses. Come back in 1 week, use your science magic, and, if you find me the best horses, I'll make you very wealthy." And they're like, "Okay, I guess." And they all leave. They come back in a week, sit down for a meeting. And he goes, "Well, you, anatomist, what did you find for me?" And the anatomist, she goes, "Well, shoot, I'm an anatomist, so I decided to look at muscle mass in these horses and, elements of their skeletons, trying to figure out their osteology, try to find anything that correlates with winning races." And she's like, "I'm sorry, sir, there's just too many variables, I really can't help you." And he's kind of frustrated. He says, "Okay, well, you can leave then." And he turns to the geneticist. He asks her, "So, what did you find? How do I use genetics to find or manufacture the best horses?" And again, the geneticist, she says, "Well, there's just too many variables, Sorry, it's science, it's not magic." And he's getting frustrated at this point. He's like, "Okay, you, leave." And he turns to the physicist. And the physicist, he's smirking. And he's like, "Well, those others, they're not real scientists over there. Physics, that's the queen of the sciences. It's the only truly scientific discipline. And this is going to be a cakewalk, And The billionaire guy gets really excited, and he's like, oh boy. And he breaks out his checkbook, starts writing a big number down, hands it to the physicist, and he hasn't even asked him about the methods or anything yet. The physicist just starts walking out the door looking at this huge check. And he goes, wait, before you leave, how are we going to do this? How do we use physics to find the fastest racehorses? And the physicist just says, well, it's simple. All you got to do is start off with a perfectly spherical horse moving in a vacuum.
Nice. That well encapsulates how simple physics is in some sense.
Yeah.
It really is a world without variables, right?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of has to be. That it's, in its...
It's an essentialist world.
Exactly, yeah.
I think the Big Bang Theory.
How dare you?
Good, Jared, good point. If your horse is perfectly spherical, you need to cut down on its feed.
That's pretty funny.
So far, no chunks of nothing in here. Nom Nom says, do you know the guy who invented Ferris wheels never met the guy who invented carousels? Because they ran in different circles.
Almost there.
That's infuriating.
Oh boy, we're just gonna get inundated by puns now.
Is that a pun?
Or, I don't know.
Just a silly joke.
Water seems like a good idea right now. You need a hand?
Yeah, I'm gonna... So you see the nail mark on the...
Say again?
See the nail mark on the rib?
I don't know if that's exactly where the nail was supposed to be.
It went in right there.
Yeah, but I moved that nail earlier before we knew where the rib was. And so we should probably make sure that that's actually where it's supposed to be.
You hammered it in before?
What's that?
I found a nail mark in the bone. So are you saying you put it in?
So the nail had fallen out, and then I put it in before we knew that the rib was going through.
I see what you're saying.
I wouldn't have nailed it into the rib, obviously, if I knew the rib was there.
Yeah, of course.
But, yeah, we gotta make sure that that's actually where the nail is supposed to be. So let me get the tape.
Well, let's just see. It's pretty close, and it's... Yeah, it's pretty a little off. Alright, yeah, take time.
Where's a good starting point?
So it's going to be that rebar with the
Okay.
big old thing. Big old orange cap.
Safety muffin.
It was round in there somewhere.
I'm going to go over this one. 4. Perfect. And we got to go to 5. So it was actually in almost exactly the right spot.
Okay, nice. Do we have one we can pull it to in order to make sure that we've got the right vector?
Yeah, it seemed to be going that way. I don't think we have any in place right there.
Oh, shoot.
The 54 right here is right.
Is it lining up with everything in between?
Yeah, this is right where it should be. Is this 54?
All right, cool.
I think you're off. But,
Should it go to here?
you probably should. So you're on
50 east,
95 north.
Me too.
95 north, so you got to find 95 north up here on the hill.
Yeah.
Is it on the...
I mean, it should be the one right next to the... That's 58 north? That's 58 north.
That's okay. They're figuring that out right now. Yeah, documentation is super important. Collect good data to be able to figure out which bones belongs where. That could be important information for figuring out the taphonomic history of the site.
Alright, let's get that. You got that tape on you, my friend?
It's right there.
Thanks. The 95 north one's only like a couple feet, or a couple feet away from the edge of the spoil pile.
Okay.
So
do we have to put in a new nail on top of the spoils pile? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, but it's only just the edge of it. So
Yeah. Cool. Be able to figure it out.
How hard is that? You see a nail, you leave it in the ground, and you don't bury it.
I don't think anyone did it intentionally. I think it's just got a little buried and then we didn't see it. And then we moved it going.
Yeah, I bet you we can just find that.
Yeah. It's like
Should I get the shovel and
it's like a foot.
Yeah. 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 We need to reestablish it. Find it again. That's great. Yeah. How do you weight your canopy? Well, it's got lines going down to some stakes in the ground to hold it down. It's less weight and more tension, you know? Ooh, there's something.
Found it. All done.
Nice. Is that a chert pebble or is that
All
some...
of 30 seconds.
Let me know if you need a hand.
Thanks, dude. Oop, quite a little too. Danny, so if you could,
Hold this here.
I got a nail here. Ooh, that nail is for the 1 meter east of that one, next to that whisper room. So I'm gonna go and hook this onto the buried one here.
Okay, that's 4 meters. And that is 5 meters right here. Hang on, there we go. Is that where it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does the 54 east one look pretty good?
That's the one that you said is 1 meter east of the one by the whisper room, right?
No, that's the one that is next to the whisper room.
Okay, I got it, yeah. Hang on a second, let me figure this out. 95. 5 meters there. Yeah, so this is over in between a bunch of these bones, just to the west of your pedalongule. 55 east, 95 north, the one you handed me?
Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. I meant to ask, is the 54 east?
Oh, that's all along the line, yeah, that's good.
Okay, perfect. Then you want to just sort of set that one down or nail it in, or find a spot that's...
Sure.
And then we can hammer it in a second together, but mark it.
Yeah. Alright, I can tell you where it is. Yeah.
Thanks, dude. Alright, let's see. Where's she go?
Right here.
Nice. Let me get you a hammer. How about this one?
That'll work.
Thanks, dude.
Cool. Oh, Lenina spotted your whale tattoo. Fortunately, she likes it.
Yay! I don't know what I would have done if she didn't.
We'll get it removed,
I
obviously.
would have got an ankle removal.
Lenina is my moderator, whom I designed her Acrocanthosaurus skull tattoo.
Acro rocks.
Yeah.
wunderbar. The rib is in.
Beautiful. It's always lousy when you've got a bone that, you know, goes across 2 different grid squares, so you have to do 2 new squares on the map. Luckily, this is within the boundaries. Yeah. Oh, and that's awesome, Lenina. Many compliments on your tattoo. That's glad to hear that. Yeah. Here, can I show the chat what you're working on?
Yeah.
It'll be interesting for them to see. So Ethan is commencing some mapping here. So using this grid, which has been ingeniously constructed of welded aluminum and bicycle brake cable right here. Very nice. It's a 1 meter square grid. And Ethan's going to be mapping those bones onto the map right here. And so those coordinates, you know, 53 east, 94 north, etc. Those correspond to a survey marker that the crew put out here a long time ago. And yeah, basically just measure out from that one central point. And yeah, you can keep everything nice and straight and clear. So yeah, this is not necessarily the most fun part of an excavation, but it's really important. And also sometimes pretty time consuming. But important stuff. Yeah. So yeah, while Ethan's working on that, I'm gonna just dig around over here for a bit. Get rid of some of this rock that we'll have to remove eventually to trench around new elements that we have.
I think this thing, if you roll towards you, probably easier to roll away. Yeah. So thin on the side. Breaks the rock.
Benny, while you're collecting all the rock debris, just keep things clean. The thing is, if you pull up a piece of rock like this, and there's, ooh, look at that. Interesting, wow, there's a brown thing underneath. What could that be? Could that be a piece of bone? If you don't see that, and you just throw it over your shoulder, you could be missing a critical piece of bone. That's why we put it into here first. It's just like, you know, some added safety there. Because if I look and I see a bone in here that's missing a chunk, I go, shoot, where was that? I can just look in the scoop and find it. Luckily, this is not bone. That's just some plant crud in there. But if it were bone, then I would know exactly where it is. And eventually this gets filled up and then you chuck it. But yeah, it's just a little safety cushion, I guess. And Tachi Glassbender, hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to Paleontologizing. Let me know if you've got any questions.
Hey Danny.
Yeah.
I'm looking for 56 East.
56 East.
So if you could, that's the 55 is right there, the corner of the grid.
Mm-hmm.
This nail marks it, but it's been out of place for a bit.
You want me to put it back in, is what you're saying?
Well, I want to you measure it back in and then put it
Oh, gotcha, yeah. Yeah, there's the tag for it. Actually, this is 55 East, 95 North, but that might be irrelevant. Okay.
I need to measure the next meter in, the next east in.
Gotcha. 6 meters. 55 East, 56 East will be right there. You're lined up?
You are right now.
Perfect, okay.
You want to just do that big stage?
You bet.
Thank you.
It's not solid, but should be good for now.
It's too fat of a nail.
So this is an example of when you find bone. This is from right in here. So I pulled this piece up of here, and there is some bone kind of going straight down. You can see that bone texture there. So we got what looks like rib just sticking out of this.
Maybe.
Right there.
Probably junk.
Yeah.
Yay, junk. I mean, this looks pretty. This might be out of place a bit because the rib that I just mapped was fully on the other grid, the other meter, and now it's pretty much in this one.
Well, I had it exactly where you.
Let's see. Well, that puts.
Is it a question of the angle? No, it's not, because it's bisecting the rib.
That puts us in this one.
Try it again?
I think so. Yeah, let's do it again.
Were we just at the wrong angle?
Yeah, you know.
Unless that nail right there
It's the
is-
wrong one. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the wrong northing, I think.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. This one's 95. That's a 90. Oh, they're all 95. That one's pretty. Either this one is also out of place, or that one's out of place.
54 east, 95 north.
Because you see how you see that nail over there, or the big rebar. This one should be in line
Yeah.
with both the rebar and that nail, and it's way over here. So I think this one should be more like over here. So let's do that.
That would make a lot of sense because it was originally just going through the rib.
Yeah.
That's a big jump for it to
So I think we probably had it right earlier. I think probably right there.
Is that the wrong easting?
Right easting. I think wrong northing.
Okay.
So yeah. So that looks a lot more in line with those. So I'll get this. Do you want to run over there and take the little orange cap off? Thank you. Alright, and that is 54 is pretty good.
Okay.
Am I right over that?
You are right over it. 4 meters, yeah.
So then our 5 meter should be right here. Almost exactly where we had it.
How do we goof that up?
Oh. A lot of variables.
Here.
Thank you. So you know what? I'm gonna run this over to the other nail again.
Okay.
Just to have a little more
Yeah.
just a little more precision. And then we want at 55 each, right?
Correct.
Leave the 5 each mark here.
So again, that puts us over here like we were before. I think that might be in the wrong place. That may have been moved.
Nah, it's still in the ground.
You sure? Huh. Yeah, because it's putting it right back where it was by the ungule.
Okay. We'll figure this out. Alright, you want to hold this one over here?
Sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I guess we had one of these in the wrong spot just now then.
Maybe in the morning we'll just try to do some organizing. This place is
Yeah.
such a mess. Can't even walk around. Junk everywhere.
Alright, Danny. Should be good. Yeah, you were right about that one. Alrighty.
Can I let it go slack?
Yeah, you can roll it up.
Damn, I mean, just dry right down my throat. Definitely one of the medications I take is
You know, if you want that camera moved.
No, I think it's alright. Can you help me get this standing up? Let's try to get that nail inside and see what happens. Alright, nice. Let's go there.
I feel like we need a,
Is it stable?
not really, no.
You wanna let go? Yeah. Alright. Fish, you want to just hold this up for a minute?
Yeah.
Like, hold it at this angle. Thank you. Sweet.
There we go.
Nice.
I feel like we need to tilt it a little bit though, because I don't feel like that corner is lined up with that nail. And that's our best point of reference here so far.
Yeah, that's it.
Right there? Cool. The joys of field paleontology, everybody.
New map time.
Emma says, how long might it take to dig and assemble a relatively small dinosaur that can then be displayed in a museum? Even that can take like a decade. It depends. If you can get the whole thing out in one season, then if that, it might take a few weeks to prepare, or it might take a few years to prepare in the laboratory. That means cleaning the rock away from the bone. And oftentimes you don't want to display something in a museum until after it's been published in a scientific journal, and that alone can take years. So it could be a long, long time. I hope that gives you a better appreciation for when you go to a museum and see a dinosaur on display. It's the sheer amount of work that it took to, you know.
Average discovery to publishing.
Yep.
10 years.
10 years, Jim?
Yep.
That is,
It's wild. Watch a lot go.
yeah.
Sometimes shorter, sometimes longer. 10 years.
Yeah. That makes me feel a little bit better about some of the stuff I dug up with Denver, Fowler, and Co. A lot of this stuff was about 12 years ago now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the whole thing, you got to dig it up. You got to, document it right, excavation. You need to prepare the specimens.
Yeah.
You get them all cleaned up. You need to visit museums to look at reference materials.
Yep, be able to compare.
Related. You know, get to know the beast and is it really a new thing or nothing? You know, something old. Got to photograph the entire specimen, or reconstruct the skeleton.
Yep.
Often do phylogenetic. I mean, the whole project. Write the paper.
Yeah.
Get it reviewed. I mean, the whole review process can take 2 years. On its own.
How long did Utahraptor take from discovery to publication?
Let's see. I cranked it pretty quick. I did it through Bakker's series.
Yeah. Hunteria, I think.
Hunteria.
Yeah.
So, like 4 years for it.
4 years.
4 years.
And that was fast tracking it.
That was fast tracking it, and we didn't have that much. And at the time, we got more later, but we had enough to diagnose it. And since Bob was the editor, fairly rapidly.
And we got a raid here from David Peterson. Hey, David Peterson and Co. How y'all doing? Welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. We're out digging dinosaurs, and we're glad you could make it. All right. Nicely done, gents.
Now, Europelta, 5 years, Prow to 2. But then again, Andrew didn't bother to go see the real thing, just see the pictures. Pretty distinctive. The idea with Europelta is that the Spanish colleagues did all the photography. They hired a professional photographer, so I never do that. It's about a year. Send me digital images, and sometimes I say, that's not good enough. You lit it in the wrong direction. There's just conventions that once you do it a lot, you don't know.
Right.
Pop that out. Kind of crazy.
That is really cool. Here, let me get a
It was like
proper photo.
it was a mess, but it could be my kids on it. It's too much stuff.
Yeah.
There's a tooth in it. This is fetal almond.
It's really squashed.
That is very long in the way it's hooked.
It's pretty deformed too. It's kind of smushed.
No, it really doesn't look too smushed, but it's super long in that hook. Almost like a proto. You know, it really is. It's unlike any I've ever seen.
It's got the big arrowhead notches.
Yeah, you get those. But the way that's hooked is really unusual. Seen one hooked before.
Sweet.
Want to show the camera up close?
You want to do it? Just try to hold
Oh
on to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And basically show them how it's hooked. That's
That
that's
is
interesting.
pretty cool. So this is
That's
a toe claw
on the proto.
of a big iguanodont. So this is the actual fossil right here. This is just rock around it.
They don't have much of a...
No, they
But
have
yeah.
cones on them. Some become more of a cone, but
This is the underside right here.
Asian stuff.
That's what would be contacting the ground.
Eolambia,
This is
things
the
that
top.
are going into
But
heads.
it does look like it's kind of squashed this way.
They're actually fairly flat. And,
But if you look on this side, you can actually see almost like an arrowhead. It kind of pinches in right here. And then on this side, yeah, 140 million years old. Iguanodont toe claw.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
You guys stay a
But
little longer.
Ethan just found that a couple hours ago.
You want another cap on that thing, or you want to...
No, and we're out of water and stuff.
Okay, I can go grab some. Or is
Yeah,
this
I mean,
right
I'm
That's
done.
the
Toast.
Okay.
Toast.
I got probably another hour and a half in there.
I've been working.
I got
really
it.
hard
We've been out since like 8:30. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I spent a half hour just putting these things up.
I could use a bit more time getting a few things out of here.
You want to deal with the tarps then?
Sure. Yeah. No problem.
Do you feel like you need another hand, or should I go back to camp?
Oh, that's a two.
Yeah.
That should be alright. I mean, we could break down part of it, and then
Yeah, I mean, that's really the side.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll break it down.
Yeah, on that side.
I would maybe, like, if you guys just want to put away, like, something that shouldn't go away or whatever, and then I can take down the tarps.
Yeah.
Jungle.
Yeah, it's always good to get the
Yeah, have you seen it? Take a look. Isn't that gorgeous? Very nice. So again, to anybody in chat who hadn't seen this yet, this is pretty similar to the animal we're digging up. This is another kind of iguanodont, but this one's Iguanodon, Burnus artensis.
I thought it was distortion.
And that toe claw would be one of these right there on the hind foot. So,
I've never seen it.
yeah. Iguanodon.
Never. This is so cool.
And so what would those claws be for? Just for making contact with the ground, you know, giving some traction. I suppose if it's kicking anybody, it helps too, but that's not a particularly sharp claw. It's more like a hoof, honestly.
Yeah, that jacket will go.
Yeah.
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 Another cap will go good. Those other two things are problematic.
And scratching in the dirt. I suppose they could do a little bit of digging like that to make a nest. Yeah, it's kind of an all-purpose, you know, hoof claw. And that's just the bony core. It would have been covered by a keratin sheath in life. Kind of like the same material as your fingernails.
Yeah.
So that is just the bone part in the center. Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of has clearly a bone.
We used to have all these little tackle box things. And everybody put all your tools in your the dollar ones, the dollar store, yeah, super cheap, but just put all your tools in your tackle box.
And Space Satan says, any issues with monsoon flooding during the dig? Not this year so far, no. We've had hardly any rain at all. Like just a couple of nights it rained. You actually saw one of those. Those of you who were here for that, we got a sudden windstorm, and we got some rain after that. That was live on the stream. But yeah, we haven't had much rain. It's been pretty dry. Fair enough after such a wet winter.
Yeah, it's El Nino.
Yeah.
Weird. Unpredictable.
The sharks must be doing cool things if it's El Nino.
What's this?
Sharks must be doing cool things. They make it up further north, like warm water species make it much further north than California during El Nino years. And that actually corresponds to like people seeing sharks more often, and occasionally like sharks accidentally taking bites out of people. It happens much more frequently in El Nino years than otherwise. Yeah. And MLF, no, of course, ask all the questions you want. That's what I'm here for. That's why this is a, you know, a live stream with chat instead of just a, you know, pre-recorded video.
Water. Yes.
Last person with the tape.
Empty. Where was I? I saw it.
The measuring tape or the masking tape? Hey, Alex Vixen, how you doing? Welcome, welcome.
Narrow this. There we go. We should be effectively nothing over there. Has to be good. Okay. Tall people. Fisher.
Take down some of these too.
I think those are the ones that,
These ones on the end need to be taken down?
or maybe that one. I don't know which ones that Ethan needs.
He won't need these.
Those are all useless now.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just mostly the back ones and the couple top ones.
This one above my head is pretty useless. Oh my.
Not good. Sorry.
Probably should have left some of these.
Maybe this one. That one's over there. So that one's
Put it back up then.
Fisher, you're taller. Can you reach the one? Don.
What's that?
Oh, you leaving that up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's actually useful at this point, but...
Yeah, let's give it a minute, maybe.
All right.
Does anybody have a pencil on them? None of these boards have
Yeah, pencil or clipboard.
These don't have pencils on them.
Here, I've got one in my bag if you need one. Already did. Let's look at some of it.
Yeah, that blue pencil.
There. Oh, here's one. Thanks.
Okay.
You. I got it.
Zipper's coming on down. This is not great.
I know, zippers. Gotta get that zipper soap. Dry out here, these plastic zippers.
Yep.
Trashed.
Well, if they get grit in them too, it's not good.
Oh yeah. There's something worse on the plastic.
Now these are, it's not sun exposure here, they're covered by a little fabric flange, but grit and sand just really messes them up. Gets the teeth all misaligned.
Yeah. Back in the vehicle.
There we go. Pick up my tools. And let's go ahead and get this thing wrapped up. I'm gonna go back to camp and think about dinner and maybe get a cold drink or two. Yeah, thank you everybody for being here. Don't go away just yet. We're gonna see if we can go do a raid and give some love to somebody else doing some science on Twitch. So yeah. Put this over my shoulder. Free up another one of my limbs. There we go. Yeah. Now, who else is on? Let's see here. Go to Twitch. And there we go. Watch. Let's see. Is anybody else doing some science? No, not really. Let's go ahead and... Let's go right into CNOT Bush, why don't we? It's been a long time. Let's see, chat. Raid. We're gonna see about some art and sculpting done live. Is there a C in CNOT Bush? I think there is. Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you had a good time today. Hope you learned something. Hope you're inspired to go outside and, you know, enjoy this great big world of ours outside the computer screen, you know? Thank you for your viewership and your support. Thank you for your wonderful questions and your enthusiasm. Thanks for keeping me here online. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. We've got probably 2 more of these dig site streams for this month. And then I'm going to be back home in my office after that, doing, you know, my usual office streams with Q&A and fossil news and all that good stuff. But until then, everybody, you take care of yourselves. And let's go say hello to CNOT Bush.